What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy, and I'm going to be doing my top 10 favorite horror icons. My friend Esley Greer from Entertainment Fanatic Reviews had done his list of 20 horror icons and stuff, and I watched the video and I commented on there saying that this would be a fun list to do and maybe I might do it too, and he was like, you should do it. So I thought I'd go ahead and do it. A lot of the ones that were on his list are going to be on mine as well. I don't think they're all going to be in the same spots except for at least 2 of them I know of, but I tried to add other ones that weren't on his list that are ones that I really like as well. So, and some of them are ones that I think are underrated and everything and should be more horror icons than they are. And everything. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Coming in at number 20 is Regan from The Exorcist. I'm not a huge fan of the Exorcist franchise in general, but I can't deny that I love the first movie quite a bit and everything. Every time I watch it, I like it a little bit more. And Regan is such an iconic character. Linda Blair just does an excellent job playing her, and even though I don't really think she's scary, I think that they did a really good job with the makeup and stuff on her, and she's just a horror icon, and I can't deny how iconic the character is and everything, and the entire movie is built on Regan. Personally, to me, I absolutely just love the character. So Regan is number 20, and number 19 is Tiffany from Bride of Chucky. I like Tiffany in the other movies alright and everything, but Bride of Chucky is the one where Tiffany is the best, personally. Everything. That's why I said from Bride of Chucky. I didn't really care for her too much in Seed, and that she was terrible. Just didn't really care for her as much. She was a lot different in that one than she was Bride of Chucky. But in Bride, she's just as crazy as Chucky is, and there's just something about her that's a lot more likable in that movie and everything. So yeah, Tiffany is number 19, and number 18 is Pamela Voorhees, the mother of Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, the original version, or the original movie. And I absolutely love Pamela. I think she was really good. It kind of sucks that she died in the first one and everything. We didn't really get to see much more of her and everything, but I absolutely love the character. And Betsy Palmer is just absolutely perfect in the role of Pamela and everything. She just does such a great job and everything, and she's always been one of those horror characters that I've really loved. And when I saw this movie for the first time as a kid, I was just totally blown away that it wasn't Jason and stuff, because the Friday the 13th franchise is based on him. Popularity is based on him, so, and everybody I had known and everything always talked about Jason, but they never told me the twist. So when I did see this one, it took me by surprise and everything, and I just absolutely love Pamela. I think she's a really good villain and everything. I know she gets a lot of love, but also in some ways I feel she's overshadowed and a little underrated and everything because of how big Jason is. But yeah, so Pamela Voorhees is number 18. And number 17 is Mary Lou, particularly from Prom Night 3. I just absolutely loved her in Prom Night 3. I thought she was a really, really cool villain and everything. She's funny, she's sexy, she's just really, really well done in that one. And I liked her in Prom Night 2 as well, but especially in Prom Night 3, though. It was one of the highlights of the entire franchise was her whole performance and character and stuff. I just really loved her in that and everything. I loved how she kind of took inspiration from like Freddy Krueger a little bit in a way. And at least that's what she reminded me of, as like a female Freddy Krueger, except she's not all burned up throughout the whole movie, just in parts of it. But yeah, I really love Mary Lou. So she's number 17, and number 16 is Ghostface from Scream, which there are multiple versions of Ghostface because each movie has different characters taking up the Ghostface killer mantle, or whatever you want to say. But I absolutely love the Scream movies and everything. I think my favorite interpretations of Ghostface would be from the first movie and 2 and 4. Really, I think all of the killers are pretty good and everything. Though even 3 has got a pretty decent killer and everything. And Ghostface is just a pretty good villain and everything. I love like his voice and stuff, because they use a voice changer and stuff. It just works really well and everything. So yeah, Ghostface is number 16, and number 15 is Esther from Orphan. This is one of those characters that there's only been one Orphan movie so far. There is a new one coming out here within the next couple years, which I can't wait to see. It's going to be a prequel and stuff, but I've always loved Orphan. Ever since I saw it for the first time, the movie took me by surprise. One of the best plot twists in horror movie history, just totally surprised me. And Esther is a really, really good villain. She's creepy, she's manipulative, and just crazy and everything. And it's I can't remember the actress's name, Isabel something. She did a really great job playing Esther though, and everything. And I'd love to see more of the character. Hopefully we'll get more with this character and stuff after the prequel. Maybe we'll get more, maybe get at least one other movie and have a trilogy. I don't know, but Esther is really, really one of those that's kind of underrated. But I know a lot of people that love Orphan, think it's a great movie, so it's kind of underrated, but at the same time it's not, because I know a lot of people that do love it, so it has a big fan base and everything. But yeah, so Esther is number 15, and number 14 is Candyman. I'm not going to talk too much about this character because I'm actually going to be reviewing the movies here pretty soon, but I really do like this character and everything. I don't remember the sequels very well. I've only seen one of the sequels a few times when it was on TV, and I've seen the first one in recent years, but so I can't really talk about all of the franchise, but I really did like him in the first one when I rewatched it here a few years ago. And I think he's a really good villain and everything. So, yeah, Candyman is number 14. And number 13 is Captain Spalding from House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects, and 3 from Hell briefly in that one. I absolutely love this character. He's just absolutely amazing. Really, really great character. He's funny, he's intimidating, and out of the 3 main characters in this franchise, he's the one that seems to have the most heart out of the 3 of them. Like, he doesn't really like doing what they're doing and stuff, it seems like, but at the same time he's also crazy and stuff like the other 2 in a way. So he just really, Sid Haig just was amazing in that role, and he was so likable and everything. I just absolutely love Captain Spaulding. So he's number 13. And number 12 is Art the Clown from Terrifier and All Hallows Eve. He could move up. If we get more Terrifier movies, he probably will move up a lot more, but so far we've only had 2 movies with the character, so right now he's just at number 12, but I really love him, especially in Terrifier. I thought he was really good. He's creepy, he's fun, kind of funny in a way too. He has like this dark sense of humor that I kind of find amusing and stuff as well, and like how he thinks he's being funny and stuff when he kills people and stuff. It just sick and demented and stuff, but he's really great, and David Howard Thornton just does such a great job playing him and everything. So yeah, Art the Clown is number 12, and number 11 is Frankenstein's Monster. I'm a pretty big fan of the Frankenstein movies that I've seen. I haven't seen the entire franchise yet. That's another franchise that I'll be reviewing here before too long. But out of all the old Universal movie monsters, Frankenstein is easily my favorite out of the ones I've seen, which, to be honest, it's not very many. There's a lot of them that I have not seen yet, so I'm curious to see if he'll still be my favorite when I watch all of the movies from the Universal monsters. But he's just a relatable character and everything. There's just something about him that's relatable. He's really likable. I don't really think he's all that scary and stuff, but he's a great horror icon though and everything. So Frankenstein's Monster is number 11, and number 10 is Baby Firefly from House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and 3 from Hell. I just absolutely love her, and I really debated whether to put her above Captain Spalding or not, but the more I think about it, I think I'd have to put her on there, because she's one of the reasons every time I watch those movies, I always want to watch it because of her, because she's just absolutely crazy. She's like really insane, and Sherry Moon Zombie just does a really great job playing her. I know she gets a lot of hate and everything as far as being an actress and stuff, but I love her as Baby Firefly. I think she's absolutely amazing in those movies, and I don't think she gets the love that she deserves. So I think that Baby Firefly is like one of the craziest female villains out there in horror movies and stuff. I just absolutely love her and everything. So she's number 10, and number 9 is Leatherface. I've always kind of said that I thought Leatherface was a little overrated, and I do mean that. I do think he is a little overrated, but at the same time, he is the face of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, and we do get some really good iterations of him. We get some pretty terrible ones as well, but I really liked him in the original movie and everything. Gunnar Hansen was just absolutely amazing as Leatherface in the first one, and I think he's okay in the second one, and 3, he's kind of forgettable, because that movie just is forgettable in general. 4, he was absolutely terrible. I wanted to punch him in the face. In the remake and its prequel, he was really good in, and I really liked him in 3D as well. I didn't really like what they did with him in the Leatherface 2017 movie. He was okay in that, but that movie is just kind of different. But it's an okay movie. Just I don't really like how they did Leatherface's origin in that. But I think he's a pretty good character. He is a little overrated and stuff, and he's definitely not my favorite character from the franchise, but I still like him. So he's number 9. And number 8 is Norman Bates from the Psycho franchise. I absolutely love Norman Bates. I think he's a really, really great killer, and the Psycho franchise itself is kind of underrated. The first movie is like really beloved and everything, and people don't talk about the sequels as much, and I didn't even know they existed until a few years ago, and I watched them for the first time last year, and I absolutely loved all of the sequels, except for the Bates Motel TV movie that came out in the 90s. I didn't like that, but I love Norman in the Psycho 1 through 4. I thought he was really great. Anthony Perkins was amazing as the character, and especially Psycho 2. I absolutely loved him in that one the most, but he's really great in those movies. So Norman Bates is number 8, and number 7 is Pennywise from It. Whether it's Tim Curry's version or Bill Skarsgård, I like both versions, although I do prefer Tim Curry, definitely, for sure. But I've warmed up to Bill Skarsgård. At first I didn't really like him, but as time has gone on and stuff, and I've rewatched the movie a few times, I like him a lot more now than I did when it first came out and everything. And I just love the character of Pennywise. I always have, not just from the movies, but the book as well. Like the book version of Pennywise is even more insane and stuff. Like what he turns into and stuff in the book and stuff. You don't see that in the movie, but it's really creepy character, and I absolutely love Pennywise. So Pennywise is number 7, and number 6 is Chop Top from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I said that Leatherface wasn't my favorite villain or favorite character in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, and that's because of Chop Top. I just absolutely love him. Bill Moseley is absolutely amazing as Chop Top and everything, and I got to meet him a couple weeks ago, and he's just really nice dude and everything, and I absolutely love him in this movie and everything. I think he's absolutely amazing as Chop Top, and just such a likable character and everything. So Chop Top is number 6, and number 5 is Carrie White. Like Pennywise, Carrie White is a Stephen King character that we've had multiple interpretations of the character, because there's been 3 versions of the movie and everything. My favorite being Sissy Spacek, of course. She just was absolutely perfect in the role, and when I think of Carrie, I think of Sissy Spacek, but I think she's absolutely amazing in the role, and Carrie is just such a great horror icon. She's one of my favorite characters. She's kind of a villain, but at the same time she's not, because she does just pretty much give people what they deserve for the way she was treated and stuff and everything. She just it's one of those characters that you want to root for, even though she's doing bad things. You kind of want to root for her because of everything that's led up to that event to make her snap and stuff. And I just love the character and everything. And Carrie is one of my favorite Stephen King characters and stuff. And probably my favorite character in any of his horror stuff for sure. So yeah, Carrie is number 5, and number 4 is Michael Myers. I absolutely love Michael. I think he's a really great villain and stuff, especially in the first movie and the 2018 version. I absolutely love his versions of that, but I also love the Rob Zombie's version of Michael Myers and everything. I think he's really well done too and everything, and I like him in Halloween 4, and I think he's pretty brutal in Halloween 6 as well. I don't remember him in 5 near as much as I do, because 5 isn't one of my most favorite movies. But I didn't really like Michael Myers as much in H2O or Resurrection, but I think he's a great character though, and a great villain and everything. I love especially in the first movie, like the mystery of him, like he's just doing the killing and stuff to do it. You don't really have a good reasoning, and everything is before we get any kind of backstory on him and stuff like that. And I like that, and I like that 2018 kind of went back to that and everything. But I think he's a really iconic villain, and a lot of people would even have him as their favorite and everything. And people that do, I can understand it. I mean, Michael is a really good character. So he's number 4. And number 3 is Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Can't help but love Freddy. I mean, he's just such a great, iconic character. So many great kills and moments, and there's times where he's really creepy, there's times where he's hilarious and stuff. People really don't like him after, or when he gets real campy and funny and stuff, like in Freddy's Dead. I personally love it, but I do prefer the darker, creepy Freddy that we get in the first two movies and Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and even in the third movie, he was kind of he was still creepy and stuff, and it balanced the humor and creepiness perfectly in that movie. But Robert Englund is just absolutely amazing as Freddy, and he's really great character, and definitely one of my most favorites and everything. And he's another one, like with Michael Myers, that a lot of people would say is their favorite, and I can completely get it. I mean, Freddy's great, so he's number 3. And number 2 is Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th franchise. Pretty much he's the villain from 2 on, except for part 5. I absolutely love Jason. He's been one of my favorites ever since I was a kid. And part of that is probably because the Friday the 13th franchise was one of the first franchises I ever really got into as a kid and stuff and everything. It wasn't the very first, but it was one of them, and the first one is actually my number 1 pick. But I absolutely love Jason. I always have, and everything, and I really debate. Part of me wants to put him at number 1, but I can't really deny my number 1 that spot though. But Jason is really great. He's brutal, he's fun to watch and everything. He has some of the most unique kills and everything, even if a lot of them are neutered by the MPAA. I still really love this movie, or love this character and his movies and stuff. So Jason is number 2. And before I do my number 1, I'm gonna do some honorable mentions that I couldn't fit on here, that I almost did put on here. Leprechaun, I didn't put him on here because I don't like enough of his movies to put him on here, but I did like him in the first one, and a couple of the other ones and everything. I can't really deny Warwick Davis was perfect as the character, and he was never one of the reasons why those movies weren't good or anything. So I do like Leprechaun. I think he's a likable character. I just wish he was creepier in the sequels and stuff. Other one is, I was gonna put Ash Williams from Evil Dead on here, but I decided to leave him off since he's a hero, and I was trying more to keep it with villains instead of heroes and everything. But I do love Ash. I thought I'd at least give him an honorable mention. And Turkey from Thanksgiving. Personally, I don't think he's really iconic yet. Or actually, I know he's not, because Thanksgiving it has its fan base, but it's not like a hugely popular movie or anything, so that's why he's not on here. And Billy from Black Christmas, really, really great horror villain that we don't really see in the movie and stuff. I love him. And one of my new favorite villains, the character from Sleepaway Camp. I'm not going to say who it is, because I have a friend that wants to see Sleepaway Camp and hasn't seen it yet. I don't want to spoil who the killer is, but absolutely love the killer in Sleepaway Camp. Now, I'm sure that character will become one of my favorites as I watch the sequels, hopefully. And the last one is Annie Wilkes from Misery. I totally forgot to even include her in this list when I was writing it down, and I didn't think about her until I was halfway filming this video, and I didn't want to have to restart everything. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions. So, and now my number 1 favorite horror my number 1 favorite horror movie icon is Chucky. pretty much stole the exact same one as Esley, but I absolutely love Chucky. He's just like with Esley. Chucky was like one of my first horror movie characters that I ever saw. Like, it wasn't the first horror. Child's Play wasn't the first horror movie I watched. That was Jaws, but it was my introduction to the slasher genre, and I just absolutely love the character of Chucky, and I've talked about him a lot here recently because I've reviewed the movies last month and everything. He's such a great character. I can't wait for the TV show, and like, I'm pretty much the same way as Esley. Every time there's a any kind of news on Chucky, I'm always wanting to hear it as soon as I find out there was any kind of news, and absolutely love this character. Brad Dourif is absolutely perfect as a character, and I did like the 2019 interpretation with Mark Hamill doing the voice and stuff as well, but that isn't really Chucky though. That's a different doll with Chucky's name stamped on it to try to sell the movie. But I absolutely love Brad Dourif's Chucky, and just such a great character. He's evil, he's funny, he's creepy at times, and it just balances everything perfectly. So, and he's easily my favorite killer. I love his one-liners and everything. So, yeah. Anyway, that's my top 20 horror icons. Let me know in the comments what your favorite horror icons are. Be sure to check out Esley's video. I'll try to leave a link to his video in the description box. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.